All right. Hey, um, going live today here, mostly because I just don't want to edit video this week, and I've never done a YouTube live, so we're going to find out how it works. Done plenty of Facebook and Instagram ones, but YouTube's kind of new. So anyway, what I got here is a brake caliper off a Hyundai. It is the caliper and rotor all stuck as one. We put this on last week. We know that this is damaged. It is completely locked up. And wore a set of brake pads out. And you can see it a little bit closer. Wore it completely out in about 5,000 miles. Now, we just kind of looked at it. We're like, this thing's really locked up. Caliper's obviously damaged. We put new calipers, pads, rotors on it, got it all fixed up, made sure the brake cable was free and not causing any kinds of problems. So what we got going on here today is I want to take this apart. Let's see if we can find the root cause of failure and what's going on with it. So let's try and get a little view here on what I'm working on here. My live setup hates me. I get this turned down, and we're going to get our brake caliper kind of set up here. Make sure that we don't fall over. All right. So we're going to start by taking off our bracket here. Take our caliper off our caliper bracket. Just got myself a 14 millimeter. We already know that pin moves, and in typical Hyundai fashion, going to help us out here. Get our 14 millimeter wrench, because why do we want to have it that it's easy, that this stuff clears? Hyundai's good for that. Break that one free. Get this guy out. And we're going to try and get this caliper off of here. Came off a lot easier than I thought it was going to. Anyway, we can see that our piston's pushed all the way out here. I'm going to try and push that back. While I was moving around here, we had a squealer come out. But what we're after is our brake pads here. You can see it damaged our rotor. And like I said, I have no idea what's actually failed on this yet. So we're going to find out together. My thought is we probably have rust here on these slides that aren't allowing the brake pads to slide back. So if I grab this, and we're kind of, I think I'm correct on this, we can move this one a little bit. That one comes out pretty hard. You can see where our brake pad completely wore away. And this one here is obviously stuck. So we take our hammer, should be able to break it free and get it loose. So that's part of our problem there, is we had a bunch of rust build up, and you'll see on a lot of people's videos when they're in like California, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, places where it doesn't snow, you'll see a lot of guys just like flip the caliper up. They pop the old brake pads out, slide new ones in. Well, up here in the Northeast, we get rust underneath these shims. And what ends up happening is they end up locking up. And when you do a brake job around here, what you need to do is actually clean up the rust on these areas here underneath these shims, because if the rust starts to swell, and you can see a little bit in the back of that one kind of sticking on there, it will swell up and cause the pads to stick. And a lot of times it'll show up as a brake. Basically, it shows up as the brake pads not gripping the rotor real tight. Other times it does stuff like this, where it jams them tight and wears them out. But what you'll feel is you'll press on the brake pedal and it seems to travel really far. And what it's doing is kind of bending that brake pad in and making it stick. Now, this is where I think our other problem is. This here is this little attachment right here This is for the park brake. There's a lever that goes on it. Your park brake cable comes through here and it hooks onto the little lever. We had to swap the little lever over. And what this does is this will turn, and it turns a screw inside of here that moves this guy in and out. And I think that's what's actually frozen on it, because we can only move it a little bit. It only has a little bit of movement, which makes me think that this caliper here is locked up. So let me grab a tool here and we'll try and push that back. I wasn't totally prepared, but we'll get the brake caliper tool here and we'll try and push that back and see what's going on. It's one of the tools I bought back when I originally started in this business 25 years ago. First, we're going to see which one fits here. Should be this little guy. It doesn't quite fit. A lot of people have the little cubes. There we go. That's the one that's going to fit. And then turn our tool back. Get this flush here. And it's pushed far enough out, I can't get the tool in it. So now we got to try and turn it by hand. And this is where, if you've done these type of brakes at home, you probably have the cube from the auto parts store, which is always a good time. You got to get that cube out, because usually you end up smashing your fingers with it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to line this up. We're going to try and turn it. Like I said, I have no idea what's going on with this thing yet, other than I knew it didn't work. It's just as fun to use, just to, oh, wow. That is locked up. That is completely locked up. What we're going to do, need a little bit lower. I believe our park brake. I believe park brakes froze up in this one, and that is our point of failure. And probably what was happening. I really don't want to move. I'll try and put this in a vise here. You guys moved over here and see what we got in the vise. See if we can't. We can't move this. This is just really, really tight. And if we were to go and just put this back in the car, it's going to fail again without cleaning it out. Wow. Well, I'm going to say that is our point of failure. And we kind of knew that this was going to be part of the problem. Yeah. So if we were to probably put some air into this and blow this piston out, what we're going to find in here is there's a bunch of rust and dirt built up in it over time, and it probably corroded this shaft. I'm not going to go that far because there is a core on this thing, but it probably corroded inside of here. And that's why you can't move this, turn it forward or backward to be able to move it, and why it actually locked up and wore these brake pads out. So anyway, that's a live kind of look at it with no prep and going to town here. So got any questions, leave them below. And if not, have a great day. We'll see you. I just got to figure out how to turn this off.